Today we will explain professional practice as it relates to your PGP portfolio. Professional practice means you are telling us how your activity item in a portfolio is related to the practices of a woundostomy continence or foot care nurse. Let's review some definitions and criteria to keep in mind. Professional practice means you are identifying the activities entered in a portfolio as non-clinical in nature. The activity cannot be related to general nursing topics to count as professional practice. In other words, only a woundostomy continence or foot care nurse would be impacted by the activity. It cannot relate to another clinical specialty, such as an ostomy-specific activity would only belong to an ostomy portfolio and does not meet the definition of professional practice. Professional practice-related activities may be used in Category 1 for CE and Category 3 for activities such as teaching, research, writing, volunteering, and so on. Let's give some examples. You take a class on CPR. This is not professional practice because it impacts any general nurse role, not just a woundostomy continence or foot care nurse. Or you give a presentation on legal issues for woundostomy continence and foot care nurses. This would count as professional practice because it impacts a woundostomy continence and foot care nurse. Or you completed a CE course on patient safety. This is not professional practice because it impacts any general nurse role, not just a woundostomy continence or foot care nurse. You will find there is a definition and examples provided in the 2024 PGP Handbook in Appendix B on page 16, so please be sure to reference this information. Now let's review the PGP requirements for professional practice. It is not required to have any items in a portfolio that relate to professional practice topics. An entire portfolio can relate to the specialty. Instead, we are limiting the amount of professional practice points you can use. That is, up to 40 professional practice points overall in a portfolio are allowed, which includes up to 10 CE that can relate to professional practice. Let's review using professional practice in Category 1, the continuing education category. We are limiting CE to 10 that pertain to professional practice when using this category. These are only allowed from specific organizations as listed here and also found in the PGP Handbook. It is not required to include any CE related to professional practices, and they could all relate to the specialty. We mentioned before using professional practice in Category 1, the continuing education category. We also want to reiterate the general CE requirements in Category 1. Be sure you have included 10 CE related to the clinical specialty in each portfolio since they are required. And finally, you are limited to 40 points overall in Category 1 for CE in each portfolio. So to summarize professional practices, it is not required that you include any activities related to professional practice topics. You are limited to 40 points overall in a portfolio that pertain to professional practice topics, and this includes a limit of 10 CE related to professional practice. Refer to Appendix B in the handbook for the definition and examples of professional practice. After submitting your portfolio, it is reviewed by the PGP committee to assure it meets the defined criteria. We hope this information has been helpful, and please watch our other videos on how to create your PGP account, the PGP requirements overview, or entering your activities. Whenever you have questions, use our website feature Ask the Board, or contact WOCNCB by email or phone. Thank you for listening, and good luck with your recertification.